One way to take your images to the next level is to use the lens blur tool. This tool is apparently early access, so it's probably relatively experimental, so we might get some experimental results. But effectively what this tool tries to do is it tries to recreate the bokeh effect that your lens can have. So that can be a result in with lights you get the thing of concept of bokeh balls, or you end up with just blur like you see here. So by default it comes here and it uses some AI to determine what it thinks is the subject of the photo, and after it's determined what the subject of the photo, it blurs everything out. So you can see here this probably didn't do a very good job of figuring out what a subject is, because likely all the things that might be considered subjects in this photo are all blurred out. But that does not mean we cannot use this to demonstrate some of the tools here. So basically we can also choose the focal range, so we can actually switch it so that the foreground is in out of focus and the sky is in focus. And then we can also increase the amount of blur if we want it to be more blurry. You can see very clearly if we increase it, it goes up. And then the boost amount, I think, is probably not going to show very much effect here, because I believe that affects the actual bokeh of the shot. So there would probably need to be some sort of light. So maybe we'll look at another photo for that. But if we go back to this focus here where the sky is in focus, and if for whatever example we didn't like the what they had done, we could actually change the focus. So if we click here on there, we can mask it and like literally bring back the out of focus areas of the photo here, right? I think there's another paraglider here somewhere. Is that right? Yeah, pretty close. Yeah, and then obviously we could do the same things for the foreground, so you can mask in areas like this, and then you can change the effect on the photo. So that really did not do a great job, but like you can see the conceptually what it's doing if you needed this sort of thing. So and then obviously the same thing, you can mask in blurred areas. So if I want to mask in this foreground area here, I just blur it in like that, right? And then if I think the AI chose wrong, then I can make corrections. Another thing you can do is you can visualize the depth, and this will show you based on the focal range that you're seeing here in this histogram. The colors will match to what you're seeing in the image here. So you can see that right now this area is masked here and here, and then like down here, right? Like there's all these different masks, and those are like the colors are representing the focus area. And so if you choose the yellow focus area towards yellow, that part will be all blurred out. If you go to the other end, right, you end up with the opposite effect of the whole thing. So there's just a bunch of different ways to visualize this. So if I turn off visualization, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, so I switched the focus to the bottom here. All the area is all blurred here. And then obviously the masks I put at the top, they're not really having any effect anymore, because they're no longer masked by the AI. So they would be like double masked out. So let's look at one example here where there's actually lights. And let's get out of this. Find thing, go to the library. We go to here and we pick this image. It has a bunch of lights. We go here, we apply the lens blur, and yeah, we should basically expect some of the lights to become a bokeh effect to some extent here. So let's see, you can see that the top left corner of the image is having the bokeh effect, But let's say we really wanted the foreground lights to have the bokeh effect. So you can see here that as I drag the focal range all the way to the side here, right, it looks like all the lights in the city here, and then up on the top of the hill here, right, are mostly having the bokeh effect. So maybe I want to visualize the range so I can understand where the effect is. And you can see here that the yellow depth here and all the way through the purple depth here. So it thinks the foreground is in the far right corner, and it goes all the way to the left. So it's kind of interesting gradient interpretation of where the focus is in this image. And obviously, if I had some concerns about what it thought was the area in the focal range, then I could make adjustments here appropriately. So yeah, you can see here the purple part it's going to be more in focus here because that's where I chose. So as we go up to the top, from the bottom right to the top left of the image, you're going to get things more and more in focus in the current selection. So if we get rid of this, that's basically what we should be seeing here. And if I didn't like that and I actually wanted to blur the whole foreground here, right, I could just come down here and paint this in here, right? And then if I paint all of this in here, right, then I can have a different effect than what the AI thought I should be having here. So right, and then I could have this whole area out of focus, and then the mountain in the background will be in focus, and you'll get this nice separation between the foreground and the background. And then if we give it a sec here and we visualize the depth, you'll see now that I missed a little spot there. But for the most part, right, the whole area here now is in the foreground is all considered the out of focus area, and we'll get a cleaner result. And so one other thing, let's see, let's do ring focus here, or ring bokeh. So if we do that, if we wait for a second here, yeah, the bokeh rings, you can see that throughout the entire foreground of the image here, any light here, it becomes bokeh rings. And so that's how you use this lens blur tool to take your images to the next level.